Welcome in, all Atlanta Falcons fans, NFL fans, and all of the Star Wars fans that have now realized they have made a grave mistake. This is the New Millennium Falcons podcast. I am your host, Savion Mixon, and I've got the whole panel with me today
Yes, sir.
because the news, the big domino has dropped in free agency, folk. We had to get all hands on deck. To my right, I got my boy Trey Shine, bro. How are you feeling today?
Oh, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out over the course of this show. That's for sure. But I am happy to be here and be back with the crew. It's great to see you guys again.
Yes, bro. Great to hear
Missed you,
you.
man. Missed you guys, man. Down in the bottom right, I got my boy Fleet. That boy Ron Rico season. How you feeling, my boy?
All is good, all is great, man. Like Trey Sean said, I'll save the takes for later on. But, as far as being here talking Falcon ball, man, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Feeling blessed, dog.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Right below me, I got the man, the QB guru himself, Hunter Thompson. H. Thompson, FB, my boy. How you feeling?
Oh, same old. We got a quarterback, so I feel better.
Yeah, we got a quarterback today. That's the big news. Huge news going on in Falcons Twitter and everywhere else.
Yeah.
We got us a quarterback today, guys.
Yep.
The one, the only Kirk Chains.
Kirk.
What is it? Kirk Frost, as Quavo put it.
Yeah.
Kirk Bands.
Kirk Bands, huh?
Oh my gosh. However you want to put it, man. 4 years.
Somebody said when he posted that picture on Instagram, getting that grill, that there was some sauce headed to the city, and they didn't lie, man. Those rumors got hot real fast, and they were all true.
Every last one of them.
Yeah.
Every last one of them, man. We got Kirk Chains in the building, man. 4 years, 180 million, 100 million guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I gotta go to you first, Hunter. How are you feeling about the new QB1 in Atlanta?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, he was the best option on paper of what we could have done. We weren't going to get into the top 3 to be able to grab one of those guys. And for whatever reason, Fields just is not appreciated by the league, for whatever reason that might be. So Kirk makes the most sense. I'm not necessarily thrilled by it. I get it. I would have rather went the Fields route and just use that other money elsewhere, like sign Daniel Hunter or somebody else, Brian Burns-esque type thing. But I'm not upset. It's a good signing. Hopefully he can get us into playoff contention, which is good enough for me because as long as you're in the playoffs, you can sit here and Cinderella your way in. I don't know how likely it is to win a title with Kirk, but he raises the floor of what we had. And we've seen at this point that when healthy, he is a borderline top 10 QB. Savion, you know that as well as anybody else here with all your Vikings work.
100%. 100%. Fleet, my boy. Hey, man, how you feeling, man?
I've calmed down a lot. I'll say that. I'm not going to lie. Most people know I was on the Justin Fields train heavy, man. And I said, hey, no matter who the quarterback was, bro, I'm going to support him 100%, of course. It's Kirk Cousins, right? And I'm not going to lie and say that I'm super excited, right? But after a couple hours marinating on it, just the thought of being back in the playoffs, because I expect that. Like, I'm not here mulling over playoff contention at this point. I mean, you made a win now move today. So, like, you missed the playoffs next year. Okay. Like, come on now. That's ridiculous. So, but we'll get into that another time. But, like, yeah, man, like, it's a win now move. It kind of opens up your window. Right now, you got the young guys going to play their 3rd and 4th years at least with Kirk. And probably that 5th year. Right. Kyle is definitely playing that 5th year with Kirk. So, I mean, this is an investment. Like, you're trying to win. So, if that's what comes of it, bro, if we're in the playoffs, I told my fiance today, man, like, if we're hosting a playoff game at the Benz, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I want a plan in place for the future for sure, and there are many ways we can do that within the next 2 or 3 years. But so I'm gonna just enjoy this now. I'm gonna stop trying to look so far ahead. I'm gonna enjoy hopefully being a winning team again. I'm gonna enjoy seeing accurate passes. I'm gonna enjoy seeing deep balls completed. I'm gonna enjoy seeing things that I've missed the past 3 or so years as a Falcons fan, man. I am, right? So I'm gonna just try to sit here and be happy about those things. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I think we'll win the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. I don't know that. Um, I hope we do. So I hope he proves me wrong. But like Hunter said, he improves the floors dramatically, right? So all I can do is sit here in the now and enjoy it. So Kirk Cousins is my quarterback. It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right, Treyway, how you feeling, my boy?
It's clear that the new regime came to a fork in the road, and the fork in the road was Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields. Hunter talked about Fields possibly being devalued. I think when you look at the big difference between the two of them is that Kirk Cousins has peaked, and nobody's really sure if Fields has. So I think Raheem and Zach both felt more comfortable with trying to go with Kirk, build the team, kind of like what Fleek was mentioning. It seems like it's a move that, is about, getting to the playoffs, getting a winning season back, just trying to get the feeling of winning back around this team, around this, fan base. They have not had a winning season in this new stadium. They haven't been to the playoffs, about 6 or so years right now. I think that ultimately it doesn't work because they didn't want Fields. I didn't think the Fields route would have been a bad one. It's probably like my preferred in this kind of situation that we're stuck in. The first out of all of them would be drafting one of these three guys. I think with how the QB market moved today, we see that the three guys are probably going to go 1, 2, 3 off the board. And that's that. So couldn't really do anything there. I guess I feel stable. We know what the team is going to be in terms of QB play this year, which, is nice after having 2 years of, not having any consistency in that area of play. I'm not really excited though. It'll be nice if it does pan out and everything like that. We get our shot in the playoffs. Maybe we mess around and we win, round 1 or something like that. I also don't want to talk about the playoffs yet as just like an assumption either, just because you never know. It's dangerous thinking. So yeah, I feel level. I feel like I have a sense of where the team's going and what they're trying to do, which is nice after a couple of years of uncertainty. But nothing, not feeling too high or too low.
Love it. Just to
I
let
think
y'all
you probably didn't see what I just saw.
Yeah. Exactly. New quarterback in New England. Jacoby Brissett is now a New England Patriot.
Yep.
Crazy to see, man.
So
Back
that
home.
move, I would assume. Yep, he's back home. That's a guy that can mentor whoever they choose at 3 presumably. So I like that move. That's actually something I was, thinking should happen for a guy like Jaden Daniels, if that is who falls to 3. That's nice.
Yeah, 100%. Got a couple of comments here. Of course, RB just wanted to say hi. Hello, RB. Love Kenny G. Wish you could come on the pod, but I'm sure that you have you got some stuff to to worry about right now. Hunter, this one for you, of course. Love you and your laptop. Got our guys over at the Audio Falcon Mind.
What's going on, brother?
It's good to be back live, man. It's good to be back live, and there's also the X's and O's of all of this that we will get into a little bit. But yeah, man. I mean, with Kirk Cousins in the fold, it almost feels like the chips are not necessarily pushed all the way in, but they're pushed pretty far into the middle. And I just want to know, like, with Kirk taking up $45 million just off rip. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of cap gymnastics that they'll figure out a way to kind of lessen the cap hit a little bit so that we can, work with the contracts. But where do you guys kind of see us going as far as building the rest of the roster? Because there are still plenty of avenues or just plenty of different things that we have to still address before we hit August. So I'm gonna start with Treyway on this one. How you feel? Where do you think we can go now that the quarterback position has been addressed?
Yeah, so they're probably going to take most of this on the chin in the first 2 years. Probably going to take about 90% of the guaranteed money, whether it be 50 this year, 40 next year, however they do it. So it'll be a little tight, but it won't be too restricting. If Kirk is loaded, front loaded contract, we could possibly see some more signings similar to like David Onyemata's last year, who could possibly now get his deal reworked since he was on a backloaded deal. But I think you would just start seeing, the team work to sign some of the free agents that are out there, like Josh Uche, who would be a great addition, who would cost some money. But, if you give him the guaranteed money and you just structure it on the back end, you can make that work. So I think that they're going to go after one of these veteran safeties that are on the market. The safety market is great
Ridiculous.
right now. It's a buyer's market. You're going to get a starter for a really good deal, so they don't have to overspend there. They're in play to get quality safety play, and probably get it locked up for 2, maybe even 3 years. So that would be a huge win. There's some other guys out there still, big name Hunter, Daniel Hunter. I don't know, what the odds are of him leaving. Minnesota's got some money now with Kirk departing. Maybe they give him a backloaded guaranteed deal. Maybe they let him walk. Maybe they try to blow this thing up. It'll be interesting. I think they can still, there's some other solid names on the market, but overall, they're not going to be able to get crazy with their money. Osborne, I feel like now we're just picking out everybody from the Vikings, but KJ Osborne's another option that would be a solid wide receiver 3, good blocker. Kenny was pushing for him. Grits Blitz on X was pushing for him, and I agree with him. That'd be a really good wide receiver 3 to get in the building and let you go into the draft knowing that you can just walk out with a 2 and be taken care of. So cornerback is going to be a need. Okuda left. Yep. And, the money wasn't too bad. It was like 1.5 is what he's getting guaranteed. It's a 1-year prove it deal. Wouldn't have hated to see him back on that, but, they're going to have to get creative because we still have guys we have to re-sign. AJ's going to be in line for a contract here. They're going to have to look at Pitts' 5th-year option pretty soon. So there's going to be a lot of, Terry's really going to have his work cut out for him, I think, this year and next year when it comes to navigating a lot of contracts, because it's really going to affect the longevity of this team. And you don't want to get to a point to where you look like how the Dolphins and Bills have looked like these past couple of days, where now suddenly, the plan didn't work and you're cutting all the talent on your roster.
And while they have, the Dolphins and the Bills do have, quarterbacks sort of in the fold, they do. Yeah, you did see just how devastating that could possibly be when you don't have everything kind of shored up. Fleek, what you looking at now that Kirko is QB1 here?
I mean, same old things we've been talking about: receivers, edge rushers. I would love Danielle Hunter to follow his homie. That would be nice. Like Trey said, I don't know how likely it is because now Minnesota probably can throw a bag, so he'll probably be fine there. But I'd be down for like Uche. I still want to draft an edge rusher or a receiver at 8. I know there's been some talk about cornerback because we do need a CB2. Once again for AJ, man, like we cannot keep a stable guy on the other side. But I don't know, man. I don't expect them to go after a guy like T. Higgins necessarily, but that would be nice too. I like T. Higgins. I'm a big fan. But yeah, as long as we get a reliable starting receiver and or edge rusher before the draft, I'm good because then that doesn't pencil you in necessarily for either one.
Mhm.
You could be more flexible. Um, yeah, man. I think like Trey said though, bro, like Terry, this was New Orleans thing. They restructured contracts. They've been making money work magically for years. It's it's kind of catching up to them now, I think. But I
Yeah.
mean, they've done it for like 10 years, so like they've gotten a lot out of that roster, and they've drafted well. So as long as Terry drafts well and maneuvers money well, I think we'll be okay. I was
Yeah.
hesitant about signing Kirk because of the contract as well, because I don't want us to get jammed up financially again, bro. We just got out of that situation, and I don't want to lose all of our best guys either. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So if Terry can make it work, man, and we stack wins, I'm fine. It's a risk. Anything we did was gonna be a risk, and this is a risk. So
Definitely a very big risk. I like all of those. I do think we still have the money for one more splash. If that's the route that you want to take, if you do want to go all in, there's a way to get the money for that. But we're gonna have to see. Hunter T, what you got, man?
Okay, so first off, Leonard Williams just signed, averaging 3 years, 21.5 million.
Yep.
That's wild. Re-up with Seattle. So good pickup for them. Yeah, but for us, Josh Uche is a name that I've been wanting since we decided to sign Kirk. I figured he was like the next kind of tier down free agent of defensive ends and edges that would fit well. Two more names that I really, really want. I really want Hollywood Brown. I think he'd be the type of guy who could come in, help take the top off a little bit, and just kind of bring a different element to the team that we don't have on roster right now. He's a bit inconsistent, but I think there's ways that we can make him work and benefit from having him here. And then another name, kind of help with the veteran defensive backs, like in the safety market. Give me Justin Simmons to pair with Jesse Bates.
Yep.
It was just like 3 years ago, that Simmons was being talked about as one of the best safeties in the league. And I think pairing him with Bates, who is being talked about as one of the best safeties in the league right now, would just be a really welcome addition to a secondary that could use the veteran experience.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely. You bring in Simmons and you immediately have, if not the best safety duo, definitely one of the top ones in the NFL. The only thing that I can think of really is that you guys haven't already hit on, is just going into the draft. I really want to see how we address the wide receiver position beforehand, because I'm looking at the names that are left, and I think Hollywood Brown, KJ Osborne, those are fine, but if those are the guys that you have, would you rather double dip in the draft that's heavy this year? Would you still be able to double dip in the draft even if you do sign one of those guys? Because I don't know how many receivers we have on deck.
That's what I was gonna say, right? Like we don't even have that many on roster, and
Yeah.
honestly, the only two true contributors is how I got in contract. I don't remember.
Yeah, now that I think about it, no, I think you still might have to go. Even if you do double dip in the draft, I think you still have to get somebody in this free agent class, because I literally don't think you have anybody on the roster right now.
Yeah, I definitely see us maybe grabbing two guys, one maybe day two and one later day three, maybe.
Yeah.
But I know we're gonna have a lot of UDFA's and maybe somebody will stick in that department as well as help, because we need help though. Like it's literally Drake London and like the rest of them. Kind of.
Yeah, it's London and the London Nets right now.
Yeah.
But That's another thing. If we do need so much help at wide receiver, can you justify going wide receiver at 8? Let's say somebody like I don't see why the Chargers would, but the Chargers or the Titans, somebody trades up to try to get a tackle, because there's a lot of good tackles in this draft. Let's say somebody trades up and tries to get one of those top tier guys. Would you be okay if an Odunze or a Neighbors fell in the draft? And like, are you good with taking them at 8?
I would definitely be good with
Absolutely.
taking them at 8. Yeah, I don't, no question. I think with that, when it comes to trading down, I just don't think I want to go any lower than 12, because I feel like if I go any lower than that, I'm probably not going to end up with one of the tackles or the edges that will still be around.
Well, I don't know, because there's been a lot of mocks where the first defensive guy isn't going off until pick 11. So
I don't see that happening. I really don't. Like, I think there's going to be a guy going in the top 10.
But how many of those guys are going? That's my question.
Even if let's say Turner goes 9 or something,
right?
And we're at 11, you probably still end up with Verse. Or if you don't end up with Verse, sorry.
No, you got it, Fleet.
Now I was gonna say, if you don't end up with Verse, you probably end up with one of those cornerbacks that you like, that you could have taken at 8. I don't know. Pick your corner. I don't do work on the corners. I've been seeing Quinyon Mitchell,
Terrion Arnold. Those are the big guys up at the top right now.
Terrion Arnold is the guy I know. I would like Terrion Arnold. I don't know how high other people are on him. I like
even
him.
If you still like Kool-Aid as cornerback 1, that's still fine too. But that's my thing though. Like, if you're going to be at the top of the draft, like let's say Denver wants to go and get JJ and he's falling at 8. And now you're going down to 12. Or let's say that Las Vegas wants to go and get, I don't know, I guess still JJ at 8. Like.
Well, yeah, that's what Trey's saying. I guess anything before 12 is okay. But like, who's? I don't even know who's after Denver, to be honest.
After Denver is Las Vegas at 13.
And then New Orleans at 14.
And then it's New Orleans at 14. Now that I understand, you don't want to go underneath New Orleans. New Orleans has much similar needs to us.
Yeah, that's kind of why I set the limit at, because I feel like the Raiders do too. I feel like the Raiders and NOLA both have very similar needs. So
okay.
I'm probably not going past either of them.
Okay. Now I get what you okay. Now I get what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm down for a trade down with Denver for sure. I'm telling you, bro, if JJ falls to 8, they probably will want him. From the reports of what Sean Payton kind of wants.
Yeah.
I mean, they might even try to trade him higher than 8 to get him. So if he falls to 8, I don't see why they wouldn't. And I don't see why Terry wouldn't pick up the phone. I'm sure he would. But I think your question was about the receivers initially. I didn't say, but I think I would not. And I would definitely not mind Odunze or Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is my favorite prospect in the draft. So, like, if we're drafting Malik Neighbors, like, I'm having a party on my roof. And I don't even own this place. Like, it's not a house. They're gonna have to come get me if we draft Neighbors. So, but yeah, man, like, I'm down. But you have to address edge and free agency. In the draft still, maybe in the second. I don't know the second round edge rushers this year like that. Not even gonna cap you down. So.
Well, speaking of one of those more cost-effective edges, Uter Gross Matos just signed a 2-year, $18 million deal with San Fran. So
for what? What do they need?
Man, that would have been that's one of those signings. That would have been a nice signing, man. And
that's a nice pickup for them.
That's a deal you could have done today,
too, bro.
Because they added Leonard Floyd earlier today too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
What are they doing? Why do they do this every year? Why do they hoard?
The rich get richer, bro. It happens every year, bro.
Chase Young, you are a Falcon.
I'm pretty sure Yeater can play across the D line for them.
Yes, he can.
Because he's a bigger guy. So, like, the way they do their D line, he can definitely play multiple spots. and then Floyd can play the true wide 9.
Jordan Hicks is signing with the Browns for 2 years, $8 million.
Jordan Hicks.
Yeah, Vikings linebacker.
Jordan? Yeah, I was about to say that. Jordan Hicks? Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Go Jordan Hicks.
Go Jordan
Right.
Hicks.
They're getting contract.
So who are the big edges still on the board? We got Chase Young, Uche, Daniel Hunter.
Yeah. Hunter is a splash, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna give myself a tip like
This edge market is shriveling up fast.
that. Ooh,
Yeah. 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 It
Ooh.
happened really quickly.
yeah. Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
How would y'all feel about Calvin coming back? Really?
I would love it if, he felt safe in Atlanta.
It'd be better for Calvin's own personal life. It would be better for him to not come back to Atlanta.
That makes sense. I forgot you said that last time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would love him back, as a scheme fit, just as a dog in the receiver room.
I'll say
Mhm.
this. Not for the price that's being rumored right now. They're saying that supposedly he has agents love to puff up the market, but like a wide receiver 1 contract market, I'm like, not paying him that.
No.
Not doing that. There was a highlight that dropped of Trevor Lawrence dropped touchdowns, and your boy was featured a lot. So
Yeah.
He
I think he had a great
rust
second
off
half
here.
of the season. Honestly, the man was going to have a little bit of a rust to knock off after not playing it so long. So they could be a great signing, but I just don't see it happening here.
I'll let the Patriots sign him for what is it, the $15 million a year, whatever the hell.
Absolutely.
You're talking about him getting Patriots. Can have him.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. He can have fun with Jaden Daniels. Let that be the future of the New England.
Okay, so diving more into free agency for the Falcons, right? The wide receiver free agent. How do y'all feel about Tyler Boyd's fit and what you think this offense will look like? Because I've been seeing people say that, and I mean, I kind of like it. I think I kind of like it. I mean, but I don't know. Would he be like the big slot guy?
So,
Slot guy?
but I mean, yes,
The slot
kind
is
of.
full, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
saying.
slot is
Slot is
full.
full.
So for me, it's gotta be KJ Osborne who can give you
We
something
got
on
too
the
many
outside.
slots.
That's
Well,
what
we got
I'm
too many
saying.
power slots.
Yeah, we got
Like-
too much of the like.
So
like-
Boyd wouldn't really, because wasn't he like a slot guy? Like, is he a true X?
Yes. You talking about Boyd?
Who's a slot boy?
Yeah,
Slot guy.
so that's why, I kind of think we're good. Though. I don't
The
know.
reason Hollywood works as a slot guy is because he's more of a vertical threat than Boyd is, or what we have on the roster.
Yeah.
You can play Drake. You can play Drake and Hollywood off of each other better than you can play Drake and Boyd off each other too. You can put Drake in the power slot and move Hollywood Brown to the outside, and then that's fine. Like there won't be any issues with that. But yeah, you can't do it the other way around, which is like the issue we had with having Mac Hollins and all, like having this duplicative skill set across the board is that nobody offered anything when they were moved anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to run that up. What is it? Is it a dagger that I'm thinking of, where you're trying to freaking clear out and you don't have the speed to clear out? But all right, moving on. Okay, so we have Kirko in tow. I mean, how long are we trying to keep Kirk Cousins in the fray here in Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we looked at the way that his contract was kind of fit. It was front loaded. 90 million of it, like you said, Trey, 90 million of it is guaranteed in the first 2 years. How long? What's the plan after Kirk Cousins, after that second year with Kirk Cousins?
I'm drafting a guy this year and next year, and Jordan loving that shit.
Okay. Where do you draft that guy?
if JJ McCarthy's there today, I'm sprinting to the table for JJ. I think JJ would be a perfect guy to sit behind Kirk for a few years. I understand that's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. I understand why people don't like him. Like I think there are flaws with his game.
Yeah, I don't
But
like
I
farts
think-
in my tea.
Do what now?
I said I don't like farts in my tea, so yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea.
That's okay. Okay, that's fair. But if I'm not drafting a guy this year, I'm drafting one next year for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was, my bad. I was just gonna say, I think if you don't draft a guy, I can see us not drafting a guy this year as much as I wanted to. Maybe they take a shot on somebody like Spencer Rattler or Michael Pratt. I'm definitely down for that and sitting him. I know people are like, well, if you're gonna draft Spencer Rattler, just see Desmond Ritter and just make sure he's, developing. So I also get that thought process. I wouldn't go for a Penix in a second because that second round pick is a lot more valuable now. I mean, it's been valuable. We have spots that we have to fill now because we have to win now. So, yeah, we can't just give up second round picks like that.
Yep.
So, yeah, bro. I don't know. I still feel kind of weird, not gonna lie. But, like I like JJ, but I don't know if I would take him at 8 just because I feel like we got to fill a premium need at 8 now.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just saying before the podcast, I think you keep Kirk in the fold for 2 seasons for sure. So either draft a guy next year, or in Cousins year 3, you draft a guy and maybe sit him and let Cousins play out year 3, possibly.
Yeah.
If he's still playing well, and if he's still healthy, and then cut Kirk going into year 4, let the guy who sat behind him for a year start and see where you go from there.
All right, Treyway. I got a couple of questions for you. Number one, this is just a big one. Who farts in tea?
Hunter,
Where did that?
apparently.
No, nobody farts in tea. I don't even think Hunter.
That's the kind of cup that Hunter just served up there.
Nah.
That's the first time I've ever come across it.
All right, Treyway. What's the problem, man? Why is JJ at 8 not your cup of tea?
So the Rams have kind of treated QB2 like an AP physics project during the Matthew Stafford era. I'm not sure if people have seen what's gone down. They sign guys off the street. They somehow put them in, and it's like, some MLM scheme, and it magically works, and everybody else tries to copy it, and everybody else goes broke and loses all their money, and they turn into Arthur Smith. So, when I look at this team and I look at the staff that we've assembled, which is just Rams Jr., Rams light, McVay light, if you will, I don't really think that they give a damn about QB2. They certainly don't care about the QB2 on the roster. I think Raheem's the nicest guy in the world. And for him to get out there and publicly start talking bad about you before they even replace you,
I don't even think they met Buddy. They couldn't have met Buddy yet.
I don't know. So, QB2 could be Desmond Ritter and a bag of chips, and that's the plan besides Kirk Cousins. And that's kind of what I think you should do for year 1. I think year 1, your expectation, RG3 put it out there. He said NFC Championship. I think it's like divisional round of the playoffs. Like, feel like that's the kind of
playoff win.
Like a playoff win. You can't, you're not just getting there, a playoff win, because if we're looking at his contract, and even if we believe that he somehow plays it out and finishes, he's most likely only getting 3rd years. If you don't do that and get a playoff win or anything in year 1, that's a 1/3 of the year is gone. One third of this timeline is gone.
Right.
And you lost in the first round. So you kind of want to at least be able to build off something. So I think you make every move possible to go all in to make that happen. You draft Ozunzi or Neighbors at 8, or you take, the edge, or you throw Daniel Hunter a massive backloaded bag that could break your back in a couple of years or something. Like, I feel like, you do those kinds of things. And in year 2, you can still do the Jordan Love route. There will always be another Jordan Love. There will always be another QB that's great, but he just needs time. And Cousins' contract is set up in a way to do that. Or I think out of the max, you invested day 3 into like Pratt or something like that, like Fleek named earlier, who you feel comfortable about his ability to operate in this offense. And, if worse things come to worse, if he has to get in there for a bit, you feel fine, and you can get a bridge out of him. Like, it'd be nice if they could just draft the bridge. So, but overall, I don't want them touching a quarterback in this draft, especially not at 8 or in the second, because like we've talked about, they're going to need to add 2 starting caliber receivers minimum, and then they still have to add wide receiver depth. So you can get that at 43, you can get that at 8, and you can still get an edge in the top at first pick if you want to go with a receiver in the second instead. So just feels like one of those things where I don't want to just chop myself off at the kneecaps at the beginning of this if I don't have to, in terms of like playable talent. Now, if we do what Hunter said, it would not be the end of the world. But at the same time, I also feel like it's kind of what the Packers are going through now with Jordan Love, in that you don't really get to enjoy the rookie contract at all. And then you have to pay this guy immediately. And you have to hope that like this 1 year or 2 year like sample size it builds and like keeps going after that, which is like the only thing that would like worry me like in that situation. But if that's a good problem to have at the same time too.
Yeah,
100%. Oh, just real quick, guys. Millie Mill said, "What's up?" and then gave us this beautiful thing to remember about our divisional rival. Remember, everybody, when the Panthers could have gotten 2 firsts. Could they also get the second 2? I remember the 2 firsts. I don't know if it was the second 2, Millie, but I know that it was definitely the 2 firsts for Burns. But instead, they said, "No, that's our guy. You're just gonna stick with him."
Yep.
And cratered his value.
I just want y'all to picture something for a second. The timeline's talking. Timeline's talking right now.
Yep.
I want y'all just to picture a QB room of Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston.
That's nasty. Why?
The Browns are thinking about it.
They shouldn't think about it anymore. They should move on from that thought.
That is the most entertaining quarterback room that we would have in the NFL.
Oh my God. The clips are
even if it's just because of Jameis
Hunter, you're bearing the lead. There's some other information in there that Savion would want to know.
Uh-oh.
Trey, do you want to take the honors on that one?
The Vikings have already found their blonde-haired replacement and are narrowing in on Kirk on Sam Darnold. The Broncos are the only other team giving him some trouble right now, but he's weighing offers between Denver and Minnesota.
I knew it, bro. I knew it, bro.
You're good. They will come in week 8, go crazy.
You know what is really hurting is the fact that it's like, if you believe hard enough, Darnold in a KOC offense, I'm just saying. The man's only 26. The man's only 2 years older than Desmond Ridder.
And people were trying to get Sam Darnold here. So I think it's a win.
Yeah.
Who are they keeping? Heineke or Ridder?
They got to keep Ridder.
Ridder. He's cheaper.
If he did, I was going to say, if Heineke didn't save them a dime, I think we know the answer. But man,
damn.
All right, folks. Got a nice little question from AC94. Do you like the idea of getting Snead or too much for a non-premium position cornerback too? First and foremost, if Snead comes in, I'm pretty sure he is cornerback 1.
He's not CB2.
I can tell you what. I was about to say.
I've been thinking all day. I'm low-key waiting for that. That's what I'm waiting on.
You like that one?
I really do. I think we probably trade a second or something. Maybe.
Okay.
I'll trade 43 for Snead. And guess what? I'll pay, bro, too. Hey, I think he was talking to Kay Adams. He said, "Who you want to play for?" He said, "Whoever gonna pay me." I got a bag. I just showed you. I just gave it to Kirk Cousins. You can get some of that, bro. Come to Atlanta, me. If you watching this, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Bro, so you trying to win? You
I'm
trying to
trying to.
win?
Hey,
Come on.
I just told you, bro. If we do nothing this year, that's 1/3 of our timeline wiped away. Like we got to do this now, bro. And if not this year, next year we gotta be like divisional round, fourth quarter, like tight game. Kirk got to come through to get to an NFC Championship game in year 2. That's the timeline, in my opinion.
So, boy, man. I mean, we are really putting some heavy, at least to me, these are some heavy expectations on Kirk Cousins. Justly so, but you got to think about it. We paid $45 million to a man that's got one playoff win under his belt. QB wins are not a QB stat. I get it. I understand. I'll 100% put that out there.
Yeah.
But that does not scare you at least a little bit.
Hey Trey, we got punter alert. Tommy Townsend signs with the Texans.
Okay. Townsend from this piece, huh?
Wow.
Right.
Bucks. What happened?
Got some special teams love for Trey Songz.
Trey needed that. We all know Trey needed that.
He needed that bad today.
But I don't know. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. It worries me. I tweeted about it, and everybody slapped me with the, and I even put, I said, I know QB wins. I know wins isn't a QB stat. And they're like, well, I guess it only matters when it's Kirk Cousins, huh? And it's like, nah, man. It's just like with this offense, right? For especially last season, but for the past 2 seasons, I felt like, man, like if we could just get competent QB play, we make the playoffs.
Right.
So, and I know Kirk is 35, going to be 36, I think, coming off of Achilles injury. Because that was one of my big fears going into this thing too. But now that he's here, I can't even delve in. I can't worry about like what ifs because he's here. So now I'm reaching into my hope bag. Like I'm hoping he stays healthy, and I'm hoping he's still that guy. Because when he's healthy, last year he was playing like top 10.
He was a top 10, sometimes top 5 quarterbacks in a lot of metrics.
So
in a lot of metrics.
If he's the same guy, not only do you have competent QB play, I mean, if you're talking top 10 QB play in the league, that should elevate this team to a playoff win, in my opinion. And they're gonna take a swing somewhere else as well. I don't know if it's gonna be a receiver or a defensive piece, but they're gonna build. Like this isn't the only thing we're gonna do in free agency. I don't think. And I don't know, man. Like I know it's a big expectation, but that's what Terry and Raheem did today. They put that on themselves, and I don't even blame Terry because realistically, sorry, so sorry in the background. Realistically, let's say you go with Fields, right? And like I want it, and let's say Fields doesn't hit, and let's say he misses off again. You're Terry Fontenot. I get you survived the Arthur Smith firing, but that's year 4 for you. Swinging on QBs and missing. Yeah, I don't think that bodes well for him. So it was a smart play for him in his career trajectory, probably. And with Raheem, this being his second time around, I told people he wasn't gonna let his second go around be dictated by bad QB play because how he went down the first time with Josh Freeman, I believe. No offense to Josh Freeman, but we know what that was. So it makes all the sense. I mean, Zach Robinson, he talked about he needs a guy that can make every throw. He needs a guy that can put the ball where the ball needs to be. He needs a guy that can read the field precisely. And I mean, that's Kirk Cousins. Like, out of the options we had, Kirk Cousins. So,
yep.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Trey?
Yeah, I don't think I think the odds of getting Snead at this point are probably pretty low. They're gonna have to pay him, and then AJ's probably gonna have to go out the door. Seems like at that point it just seems like it'd probably be easier. I don't know if AJ will beat Jalen Johnson's contract. I think I don't see him getting paid more than 19 a year. Diggs is at like 19.4, 19.5. I feel like AJ's probably like gonna get that 19 figure. Snead will probably be the first cornerback that breaks to the 20s. But even then, I don't even know if I want to pay AJ that much. AJ is interesting. He's somebody to where you could replace cornerback 1 this draft. There's a lot of guys available that we were talking about earlier that you could even theoretically take with the 8th pick. But this team needs a cornerback 1 and a cornerback 2, and then cornerbacks behind those 2 on top of that. So seems like you'd be extending yourself and taking a little bit of a big bet there. But kind of how we talked about it, they're going to have figure out where they want to put the weak point of this team. Last year, they were comfortable with the weak point, at least for the defense, being the middle of the field, being the linebackers in coverage, and then part of that safety group. So do they want to strengthen the outside some more and then keep that the weaker part of the field? That's kind of what most teams have kind of gone to. It's easier to get quality linebacker play for a lower price. They've got Troy, they've got Nate locked back in, and they still have Ellis. So seems like you could see them really try to attack the cornerback room, run it back with that group there, and then a pass rush helps a secondary. So maybe it is AJ and a rookie, and they invest heavily in free agency with whatever they got left, or maybe they go heavy in the draft at edge. But something's got to give. In our history, we've typically seen the edge position being the one that gets left to starve, and we did just kind of hire a staff of nothing but DB gurus.
A ton of them.
So the DB guys are already talking like we don't need. They're like, it's about us more than it's about the press. Savion knows what those conversations are like, but
yeah, I mean, who needs a Dallas Turk? We can get Hey, look, man.
Exactly.
We don't need that. We can get Kyrie Jackson in the second, and we'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So
So it's going to be interesting to see whatever they do for this first year. I think the main goal at this point is to get day one playable starter level talent, maybe not looking for the guys with the highest floor, but looking for guys that you can get out onto the field and will help contribute to games right now. And, hopefully it can turn into something more, but they've got some important holes to take care of there on both sides of the ball. So
100%. Hunter, how do you feel about kind of the Snead thing, but also just the debate as far as cornerback versus edge, as far as how we address the defense?
Snead, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't really see the whole dealing that pick for him. I mean, I could be incredibly wrong. Like, it could easily happen. Could
easily just say, "Yo, we're pushing it all in." Yeah,
exactly. Like, if they did it, it'd be the Rams method. So it's like, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about Snead because I'm obviously down to give him a bag because he's very, very good. And he would come in and be CB1 immediately. So that's cool. I don't know. I don't really have too much thought on Snead because I don't know whether to be hopeful because I don't want to think about it too much because I'll get my hopes up. And if it falls through, whatever.
Yeah.
But in terms of building the defense, I've always been a pass rush first guy. I know. So for me, it's like getting Turner or Verse at pick 8 would be huge, or just signing a big name defensive end to a bag like Chase Young or Daniel Hunter or even Josh Uche. Like, give me a proven pass rusher because we don't have one on roster. AK looked solid last year. Right. Harrison had moments. Grady is Grady, but he's also never been a great pass rusher. It's kind of like, he's never put up a sack number. How about that?
He's solid.
he's good. Like he's a great player.
Yeah.
But I want a guy that can get the sacks and get to the quarterback, because we haven't had one of those or a consistent one since John Abraham retired, and that has just been something that I feel like the front office has just constantly somehow managed to dodge it. And I don't know how they've managed to dodge that criticism for what feels like forever, like in the national eye. But yeah, give me a pass rusher. That's all I have to say.
All right, so a couple of comments here. Number one, that's for Fleek. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Fleek. Me and you were in the same bag, bro. You know, we liked the experiment. Experiment did not pan out.
Did not at all. By the way, I want to say I jumped off that bandwagon. I think like week 7.
Very quickly.
I remember I tweeted. I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Actually, I think I'm good off this Ritter experience."
Very quickly.
I don't need no more.
I'm 100. No, it was a lot of guys that. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really talked about like Ritter gave me like he had these little moments in week 1 and 2, and we won week 1 and 2, and it was like, oh man, okay, maybe I don't know. He's still kind of looking good. I don't know. And then he started turning over the ball crazy.
Yep.
And so it was like, even when he would come out and make throws, I was like, oh, that was kind of nice. Oh, that had decent velocity. Oh, man, that was good placement. It was like, it was like cool, but like, man, you just keep giving this ball up. And after a while, bro, the turnovers became too much for me, dog. I was like, nah.
So, hope everybody enjoyed that. That is the last that you will hear of Ritter for a while on this podcast. Trey, Hunter, anything on Desmond Ritter last year? Nothing. Hunter, that's a no. Treyway, I can't see you shaking your head.
I don't want to talk about that, man.
Nothing left to say. I think the man said that the hardest part of his job would be missing Drake London and Kyle Pitts because they're such big targets, and I guess he just wanted to show us how hard that job could truly be.
Made it look easy, effortless. Guy Millie Mill says this fails, then heads are finna roll. 100%. The first head that will roll more than likely will be Terry.
Oh yeah.
And also wanted to kind of go with this. Zach Harrison has shown improvement, which he did last season, and D'Angelo Malone is still unproven. D'Angelo Malone is a name that will always be in the good graces of Hunter Thompson down there.
How many D'Angelo Malone stockholders are out there? You people.
I still have.
I have enough. Sick. You people are sick, man. This guy struggled to get on the field last year, and I will hold out hope until that man retires.
On the field until that man retires, I will be a fan.
Oh man!
Real talk. How many snaps did he play last year? Like 13?
Not enough.
Year?
Not enough.
Like snaps on defense, I think 4 games. But he played some special team spot duty.
Stock right here.
For a bit there.
Yeah. Nice.
D'Angelo Malone, no matter what.
Is he a 3rd round pick?
3rd round, bro.
D'Angelo Malone was the Matt Ryan pick for what it's worth.
Man, Malone's just there to lift weights, dog. That's all he's there to do.
You're telling me.
Lift weights and then go just beat the hell out of Trevor Penning if he ever gets thrown into the game for some reason. That's pretty much the only reason.
That's all we need, dog. Embarrass the Saints' 1st round pick. Give me that man on roster. No matter, he's more valuable than Felipe Franks ever was.
It's just another reason to hate Penning because he got Malone all the way up to the 3rd round with that Senior Bowl performance. It's like this man has done so much damage to both the Falcons and Saints franchises that he should actually be hated by both of us.
That is crazy.
Oh my God. Hey, what you say, bro? That man D'Angelo Malone is in there. Malone is in there to stay in shape, and that is it.
So wait, okay, the greatest
just
quarterback in franchise history turned into 4 games played on defense.
Say one more time.
No, I was saying the greatest quarterback in Falcons history turned
Yep.
into like 20 snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. The D'Angelo Malone pick was the
100%.
Matt Ryan pick. Yeah.
Facts. Okay.
Yep.
Alright. That's
All
nice.
right,
That's
man.
nice.
All right, man. We are reaching the end of this pod, so I got to get you guys' thoughts on one more question. Go ahead, Hunter.
I was just gonna say we missed the biggest news of the day.
What's that?
Charlie Warner.
I was waiting for somebody to talk about him.
Dude, tell me
The
this
spirit
guy
of
is
Arthur
not the
Smith
best signing
still
of the day,
walks
Trey.
these halls.
Trey, tell me why he's so good.
Look, you're getting a reliable blocking tight end that's going to know how to set up the run game for this offense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he's played
Yes,
in a
sir.
similar scheme. He comes from a similar tree, and this guy's really going to give you the effort and leadership that you need in that tight end room.
He also went to
I
UGA.
like it.
And
Oh,
he's a
go
dog.
Dogs,
Yeah,
Wow.
he's a dog. So
Hey,
that's
what?
probably the dog of the year. I think it's hilarious that we drafted a fucking freak tight end from Georgia and have just decided to let him rot on the bench and then replaced him with a slow, fat version of him this offseason, apparently. Rest in peace, John Fitzpatrick. The preseason we had last year was beautiful, and we'll never forget it. I have no idea why Arthur Smith never played you. You're like, if Arthur Smith created a player in Madden, you're literally what he would make.
It was him.
6'7" white giant. So I literally don't understand why you never got in the game or anything. But R.I.P. John Fitzpatrick. You will not be forgotten.
Bleep, what they say? Put the peach on it.
Wow. So lit. Damn, man. I like
my
John
God.
too.
I don't understand, bro. I love the pick. I was like, oh, that's easy money.
For a 3-year deal too.
Well,
Is he on a 3-year contract or something? Is that what you said? Yeah, the
Yeah,
new guy?
Charlie
Yeah.
Warner was,
He's on a 3-year deal. I was surprised that was like 3 years.
Yeah, it was 3 and 12.
Wow.
You got to lock town up like that when it comes through the doors, I guess.
That's
This is
the
crazy.
only other call they was able to make, bro. They was talking to Kirk for a long time, bro.
3 years would take him past the trigger date for a certain rookie tight end's 5th-year contract. It's weird. It's almost like building in insurance. I don't know.
real quick. Ogundeji, bye. Zoe, bye. Heineke, bye. Who else is getting up out of here?
Get Mike
as far as,
Hughes
that-
the
that's-
hell out of my city. That's what I got to tell you right now. If Mike Hughes is in the 404, if Mike Hughes is in the 404 and Trey Flowers is not, bullets will be flying. I'm telling you that shit right now. Get Mike Hughes the hell off my football team. That was the most insane signing last year. I don't give a damn that it was only $3 million. That was absolutely ludicrous, and that man needs to be off this football team. Jeff Okudah is making less money right now than Mike Hughes. That's what I want everybody to leave here tonight thinking. That's what I want everybody to understand as we close this show out. Jeff Okudah today is making less money than Mike Hughes.
Can we also pour one out for Cordero Patterson?
Can we pour one out for the just for the 84? Because
that was the best 6-game stretch of my life.
Kyle's literally talking about ripping that 84 off CP's dead body. The man has been power washing all day, comes back to check in and see what's going on, and he has to get told by the fans that Kyle Pitts is out here like already selling his number 8 and freaking posting edits of himself in the 84 and literally asking people to make fan edits for him in that number.
Bro. And then he's making lighter. He's like, should I do 84?
Hey, and what Buddy say? Buddy just hit him with a damn.
Damn.
Hey, CP hit them with a damn. That's crazy.
We love CP though, man.
We love CP on this pod here, man.
Listen,
The
CP.
fuck we do? What you mean?
As a human being, God.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Go back on mute. Go back on mute. You and your squeaks.
Listen, we not gonna do this, all right? CP, if you watching me somehow, we will always have 2021, my brother.
We will always have 2021.
You got me through some days. Matt Ryan, he was at the end of his rope, my guy.
that Falcons Saints game.
I'd just like to say CP is the reason. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Come on.
No.
I'm just saying.
Okay, let me say it for him. Thank you, CP, for taking us out of contention for the 2020 QB draft class. We really appreciated those 7 wins in Matt Ryan's dying year. And, when we look back these past 2 years, I think we all say it's worth it.
Well, do you feel better about yourself?
Did I get the gist of your point, Hunter?
Do you feel better about yourself today?
Hey, man. Hunter's too scared to
say
how he feels. That's not how I feel. That's how Hunter feels.
Okay.
I personally, looking back at it now.
That's crazy, Hunter. You got this man talking for you like that? I didn't know that. I know he was your daddy.
He said what I was going to say. What you mean?
That's crazy.
I will not. I can't, because that's very disrespectful. Because do you remember?
Scordale was a movement, brother.
Scordale was a movement.
Scordale was putting us back on primetime posts.
Yeah. They was like, oh my God.
What I'm saying? Angry runs.
Where has this been? Oh my gosh. Arthur Smith is a genius the whole time. CP was
Angry runs is on the bench with Tyler Algier. What do you mean?
See, I'm telling y'all, it's not me, it's him.
He makes a solid point there. But
you know what?
the
worst person you made a good point.
Yeah.
What you were going to ask us, Savion, because I know we got way off track.
Yeah.
We did, but it's okay. It's okay. This was so much better than I could have asked for. All I wanted was to know, within the next 2 years, could you see Kirk Cousins leading the Atlanta Falcons to a Super Bowl? Treyway, what you got for me?
Oh man, yeah, because it's football, and that's why we watch this game. Any given Sunday is
of course, yeah.
So I'm not going to go against the ethos of the sport. Like that is, could I see it? Yes. Now the world that I have grown up in has not been so kind. So I'm not sure if we'll get to live that experience, but hey, crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Fleek. You are the man of hope. You are the voice of the people.
Me?
You. Do you think that Kirk Cousins can lead this team to Super Bowl?
He can do it. He can do it. He has the talent to do it. To be honest, it's up to the team around him. I mean, if he's the same guy, this is me operating under the assumption that Kirk Cousins is going to come in, and I know this may not be fact, guys. We could get into next season, and I don't see it the same. Right. But right now, I'm projecting. If I'm taking Kirk Cousins from week 1 through 7 last year, and I'm bringing him to the Atlanta Falcons, I think if the guys around him rise, I don't want to say rise up. That would have been so cliche. If those guys do what they need to do, Kirk Cousins can take this team to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And he can probably win it, to be honest. Will it happen? We'll find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Shout out to Akira Toriyama.
Yep.
All right, Hunt. Talk to me.
I mean, I guess I'm going to be negative and say probably not, but
there it is.
Soccer fans
there it is.
For my soccer fans out there, I saw Leicester win the Premier League, so anything's possible at this point. I just don't expect it now. If we do, I will cry tears of joy on this podcast and apologize to all the mean things that I've said about this team over the past 25 years of my life on this earth. I will say all the nice things.
So I don't think that part is necessary, because the mean things that you have said are completely and utterly rational. Like, they are completely rationalized. In my opinion, I do believe that Kirk Cousins does have the capabilities to lead this team to the Super Bowl. The question is this the correct timeline as to where the Falcons actually pull this off? That remains to be seen. I don't see it, and that is just the pessimistic part of me. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Hopefully, it does happen, but we will see, guys. We got ourselves a quarterback now, though. Hey, guys, we've been on this for a solid 65 minutes. It has not felt that way. You guys have been awesome, man. Appreciate y'all joining. Everybody that's watching, thank y'all so much for coming through. Hey, Treyway, where can they find you?
Right there at the handle at TRE3SHON, Trey Sean. Appreciate y'all listening. Glad to be back with the gang. And man, we had a lot to talk about, and we got even more to talk about as the weeks and days start to roll on. But that's the best part of the off season.
Oh, yep. Fantastic. That boy Fleet, where can they find you, man?
Yes, sir. You could find me on Twitter or X at Ron Rico Season. Right there, it's RIKO. Is how I spell Rico. So yeah, like Trey said, bro. Like we got a lot to talk about. It's gonna be a long off season, but it's gonna be an exciting off season, man. And hopefully y'all stick it out with us. So as we prepare to see this team, hopefully become anew and turn a new leaf and get back to winning.
100%. Hunter Thompson, my guy. Where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter/X at HThompsonFB. I'm going to hopefully try to pick up more writing stuff here soon because I kind of have time to do that again. So maybe I'll put some stuff out. Maybe not. I'll be on this podcast. I'll be around.
And that's all that matters. You can find me here, Savion Mixon. I will be on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Right down here at MixonS_NFL. I write both for here and, ironically enough, for the Minnesota Vikings at the Vikings Wire. Guys, this has been amazing. Cannot wait to get back on here. For everybody that's watching, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We out.
Peace.